The duel had begun at dawn, the first rays of sunlight spilling across the packed earth of the training ground, casting long shadows between the two figures. Her breath was steady, her grip on the hilt unshakable, every muscle in her body honed for this moment. Around them, the clan gathered in a tense circle, murmurs fading into silence as steel met steel. His strikes were unorthodox, unpredictable, each one forcing her to adjust, to adapt, to fight harder than she had in years. Dust rose around their feet as they moved in a deadly dance, the metallic clang echoing like war drums. She feinted left, then spun right, her blade catching his in a sharp twist that left him open for just a heartbeat. Without hesitation, she struck, the tip of her sword slicing across his palm. She expected the warm scent of blood and the usual grunt of pain, but what came instead made her falter. The instant his blood touched the blade, the engraved runes along its length flared to life, igniting in a blinding, golden light that coursed from the steel into her very bones. The air grew heavy, vibrating with an ancient hum that seemed to pierce her chest. She stared at her weapon, breath caught, her mind struggling to comprehend what she was seeing. For generations, the blade's magic had been nothing more than a legend or a story to inspire warriors. Yet now, that forgotten power was awake in her hands, and she had no idea why. The light from the blade washed over the training ground, painting every face in gold. For a long, breathless moment, no one moved until one by one, every member of her clan dropped to their knees, their heads bowed low in silent reverence. The sound of metal hitting earth rang out as warriors let their weapons fall, as if some unseen force had commanded them. Even the elders, who had not knelt in decades, bent before him. She stood frozen, her chest tight, the hilt of the sword trembling in her grip. His gaze never left hers. There was no triumph in his eyes, only a quiet certainty, as though he had known this would happen all along. The ancient hum in the air seemed to answer to him, not to her, each pulse syncing with the slow, steady beat of his heart. She wanted to speak, to demand what magic he carried in his blood, but her voice refused to come. A shiver raced down her spine as the truth clawed its way into her thoughts. He was the one foretold in the old songs, the rightful bearer of the clan's power. And her strike, meant to prove her dominance, had instead sealed a bond she could never break. Around them, the kneeling figures waited in reverent silence, as if awaiting his first command.